There are moments in history when human confidence collides with the raw power of nature, moments when even the most advanced engineering proves helpless. The Banqiao Dam disaster in China was one of those moments, a tragedy that claimed tens of thousands of lives and left over 11 million people without homes. The Banqiao Dam was built in 1952 on the Ru River in China's Henan province. It was meant to protect the region from seasonal floods and provide electricity to nearby communities. But from the very beginning, there were warning signs. The dam was constructed primarily from clay. Soon after completion, cracks began to appear in its structure. Soviet engineers were brought in to reinforce it with steel, and eventually, the dam was declared indestructible. But not everyone agreed. Hydrologist Chen Xing, one of the project's key engineers, insisted that the dam needed 12 floodgates. Authorities dismissed his concerns, calling them excessive and wasteful. Instead, only 5 gates were installed. Years later, Chen Xing was brought back to address emerging problems, only to be dismissed again for his criticism. No one could have predicted what would happen in August 1975. A powerful typhoon known as Nina struck Henan province with unimaginable force. In just 24 hours, more than 1,000 millimeters of rain fell. That's more than an entire year's rainfall in a single day. The indestructible dam was never designed for this. Water levels rose rapidly. Downstream flooding was already severe, so dam operators were ordered not to fully open the floodgates. Then, communication lines failed. Cut off from guidance, the operators were left in the dark. When the decision was finally made to open the gates, it was already too late. The water was rising faster than it could be released, and the 5 gates, some partially blocked by silt, were simply not enough. The dam collapsed. A massive wall of water, over 15 billion cubic meters, burst through the breach. Everything within 55 kilometers of radius was swallowed. Dozens of smaller dams downstream failed one after another. Like dominoes falling, the destruction spread. The wave surged forward, destroying towns, infrastructure, and entire communities. Rescue efforts were nearly impossible. Survivors were left without food, without help, without hope. For decades, the true scale of the disaster was hidden. Official numbers spoke of tens of thousands dead, but some estimates suggest over 200,000 lives were lost, not only from the flood itself, but from the famine and disease that followed. Hundreds of thousands of livestock perished. Nearly 6 million homes were destroyed. Entire regions were left in ruins. The Banqiao Dam was eventually rebuilt and stands to this day. But its story remains a warning, a reminder that nature cannot be controlled, that ignoring expert voices can have devastating consequences, and that even the strongest structures can fall when we underestimate the forces of the world around us. Some disasters fade into history. Others leave lessons we can never afford to forget.